If we fail today, the whole village eats only thin soup for a week. The camera opens on a huge dark shape lying on the ice. A wild boar frozen solid like a stone statue. The skin is thick and rough. The tusks curl out like knives. The body is so big it almost fills the whole frame. We pull back slowly, and now you can see how massive it really is. This one animal weighs around 5,500 kilograms, enough meat to fill every pot in this village. Around the boar, people stand in silence. Men with tired faces, women holding empty buckets and big cooking pots, children hiding behind their mothers. They all know what this means. If they can turn this ice boar into food, they will eat well. If they fail, they go back to small cold meals and hungry nights. A nomad pulls a long knife across a stone, again and again. Today, one ice boar decides if this whole village eats like kings or stays hungry. Watch carefully, because in this video, you will see what most people never see. No piece is wasted. No cut is random. Stay till the end and watch how this frozen monster turns into a feast so big that the whole village gathers around the fire, and not a single person is left without a full plate. I am your guide in this story. A nomad who spends his winters always moving from place to place. A man who knows how to turn frozen meat into warm food for many people, not just for himself. In this video, you will see three big things. First, how they prepare and cut a frozen boar, this huge when it is hard like stone. Second, how they share it, so the whole village gets a fair piece and no one is forgotten. Third, how this one feast helps the nomad himself survive the rest of the winter and keep going on his wild journey. Do you remember the last time your stomach hurt from hunger? The nomad pulls his fur hat down over his ears. His coat is simple and old, but still strong against the cold. Thick gloves cover his hands. His eyes are calm and steady, like nothing can surprise him anymore. He does not look excited or scared, only focused. He checks the ropes, tests the knife with his thumb, then looks at the sky for a brief second. This man has walked through more winters than most people can imagine. He knows animal tracks. One print in the snow tells him if the animal is heavy or light, tired or full of energy. A broken branch shows how long ago it passed. Right now, he has only one mission, and it is very simple. Make sure no one in this village goes to sleep hungry. The ice boar beside him is not just an animal. The screen fades for a moment into a soft flashback. A small boy sits in a dark wooden room. The fire is weak, and the pot above it holds only a thin soup. His parents whisper. They sound worried. The boy watches their faces and understands even without words. There might not be enough food for tomorrow. That night, he learns what it means to be afraid of running out of food. Back to the present. We see the same eyes, but older and harder. That boy grew into this nomad. On that night long ago, he made a quiet promise to himself. If he ever learns how to hunt and gather, he will not keep it only for his own plate. He promised that if he becomes strong, he will also become generous. He will share what he brings back from the wild. Today, this frozen ice boar is his way of keeping that old promise. Every cut he makes is not just for him, it is for every empty stomach in the village. The nomad now stands near the center of the village with the elders. Snow crunches under their boots as they form a small circle, behind the giant boar. The elders look at the boar, then at the nomad. They know the unspoken deal without needing to say it out loud. He is the one who walks far from home while they sleep. He is the one who faces wild animals and cruel colds with only his skills and courage. Each time he goes out, he risks his own life and his strength. In return, there is one thing he asks, and everyone accepts it. He never eats alone. When he comes back with meat, there is always a place for him at the table. Here, people respect hunters who share what they bring. In this place, money is almost useless in the deep winter. You cannot chew coins. You cannot warm your hands on a bank card. Real value is what you can put in a pot. That is how the nomad earns what matters most. He earns trust when he comes back with full sleds. He earns real food on the days his own hunt is small. He earns a warm roof and a safe corner to sleep when the wind outside roars like a beast. The camera shows an elder placing a rough hand on the nomad's shoulder. A woman gives him a small nod of respect as she passes by with a pot. Children glance at him with wide eyes, like he is a hero stepped out from one of their bedtime stories. Have you ever seen food so big it needs its own road? The boar is already down when the scene begins. It lies on the open ice, frozen so hard that even the air around it feels heavy. Frost covers its back like a white blanket. Ropes are wrapped tight around its legs. The knots are thick and careful because one wrong slip could break the whole setup. A wide wooden sled sits under the body, creaking and groaning every time it moves, even a little. The boar looks almost too big for it. Men lean their whole bodies forward to pull. Their backs are bent, boots digging into the ice as they drag the giant weight inch by inch. Breath comes out in short, sharp clouds. No one talks much. Every step takes all their strength. Beside them, children run along the path, shouting and laughing. They point at the huge shape and race each other, too excited to feel the cold. Women stand a little farther back, watching from the side. Some hold buckets, some carry small tools, all of them waiting. This is not just a delivery. This is not like bringing home one or two small animals. This is like dragging a walking food warehouse into the village. One massive block of meat, fat, and bone that can change many hungry days into full ones. The boar reaches the first houses, and the scene slows down. People start to come out from doorways and yards. Faces appear in windows. The giant shape on the sled pulls every eye towards it. You see honest faces in the crowd. Relief on a tired mother as she presses her hand to her chest. Joy in a group of children who jump up and down without even realizing it. Curiosity in a young man who walks closer, trying to see every detail. A little boy reaches out with his mitten and taps the frozen skin. The sound is hard and dull, like knocking on a door made of stone. He laughs and pulls his hand back fast, surprised at how cold it feels even through the glove. His cheeks glow red, and he grins from ear to ear. An old woman stands near the front, eyes shining. She crosses herself slowly, or whispers a small blessing under her breath. She has seen winters with empty tables, and does not want to see that again. A teen boy walks around the boar, looking up and down at its massive body. He asks aloud how heavy it really is. 5,500 kilograms, someone answers, and his eyes go wide. He shakes his head, trying to imagine that much weight as food. Another villager speaks with a smile. We will eat well for many days. The words are simple, but they carry a huge wave of hope. This is what this boar is for them. Not just an animal, but days and days of safety and full plates. Stay with us till the end to see how much food this giant really gives and how they turn every part of it into life for the whole village. How do you slice up a mountain of meat so everyone walks away happy? The villagers and the nomad stand in a wide circle around the frozen boar. The huge body lies in the middle like a strange table. No one is eating yet. First, they have to plan. 5,500 kilograms is a gift, but it is also a big problem. How do you divide something this huge the right way? People start talking in low voices. Some want fresh meat today. They imagine hot soup tonight, big pieces of meat in the pot, and children licking the last drops from their bowls. Others think ahead. They want to freeze and store a big part for later days when no new animal comes. They begin to talk about parts like they are planning a map, legs for roasting on special nights, ribs for slow cooking that makes the meat soft and fall off the bone, thick fat that can be melted down and used as cooking oil, and pure energy for the cold days. The nomad kneels down beside the boar. With a stick, he draws a simple plan on the ground. He marks lines where they will cut. Front legs here, back legs there, ribs along this side, fat and skin on another side. The snow becomes a whiteboard for the whole village. Men and women lean in to look at his drawing. They point and discuss. Maybe more ribs for drying. maybe more fat for families who live far from the center. For the viewer, this might look like just a group of people standing around a dead animal. But what is really happening is something deeper. They are planning many days of life for the whole village, and every line in the snow is a promise of a full plate for someone. There are no written rules on paper here, but everyone knows the old system of sharing. Families with many children get more. Little mouths need more bites. A house with 5 or 6 kids cannot live on the same small piece as one old man living alone. Elders get the softest and easiest to chew meat. They have seen many winters, and their teeth are not always strong. For them, tough meat is pain, not pleasure. So they receive the tender parts, the cuts that break up easily in soup and stew. Hunters and helpers also get a fair share for their work. They are the ones who pulled the sled, swung the axes, tied the ropes. Without them, this giant animal would still be lying far away on the ice. Their reward is not just respect, but real food they can bring home. We see women with scarves over their heads making lists on small pieces of paper or in simple notebooks. They count families, name by name. 3 here, 5 there, a newborn in that house, an old sick man in another. The Nomad walks from person to person, checking and asking short questions. Did we count that family at the edge of the village? What about the widow near the river? He wants to make sure no one is forgotten in this plan. In big cities, a meal is often just one day, sometimes just one picture on social media. You eat, you post, you forget. Later in this video, you will see them weigh and divide these pieces right in front of the camera. Stay till then, and you will be able to feel exactly how much food a 5,500 kilogram boar really gives. Here it begins, the first cut. The Nomad lifts his knife and presses it against the frozen skin of the ice boar. The skin is harder than wood. Every strike takes effort, and the cold makes each movement slower. They switch tools. Heavy axes and a long saw come into play. Steam rises where warm hands touch the frozen body. The Nomad moves with patience, long, careful strokes that show he has done this many times before. Every cut matters. The first sections start to loosen. Legs and shoulders are next. These parts are the most important because they will feed many people at once. Even while working, laughter breaks out. A piece slips suddenly and almost falls on someone, but they catch it just in time. The moment is tense, then relief, and a small laugh. After the large sections are removed, attention turns to the smaller parts. Fat, organs, and other pieces are handled carefully. Nothing is thrown away. Some fat will be melted down to use as cooking oil. Certain organs will be boiled for rich soups. Other pieces will be turned into sausages for storage. The feast is about to begin. Now, the real magic begins in the kitchen. The scene shifts from the frozen ice and snow to warm, smoky kitchens filled with firelight. Women take over the massive chunks of meat and fat. They lay them on wide wooden tables and boards, ready to turn stone-cold slabs into hot meals. Their knives move fast and sure, cutting, trimming, and slicing with skill only years of practice can give. Massive pots are now placed over roaring fires. Bones, meat chunks, and whatever vegetables are available fill them. Steam rises quickly, filling the room with thick, warm air. The smell is rich, heavy, and full of life. Fat and meat bubbling together create an aroma that can make anyone's mouth water. People stand close to the fires, warming their hands and faces while waiting. Someone dips a spoon into the broth and tastes it. Their eyes light up, and a big smile spreads across their face. Right now, you are watching on a screen. But imagine this smell after days of simple food. Imagine your first bite of rich hot soup after a long, empty day. That is what this feast means to them. Special dishes are prepared for the main feast night. Roasted ribs with crispy edges appear on plates. Chunks of meat are coated in fat and seasoned simply but perfectly. These are traditional recipes made only when a very big catch is brought to the village. The feast is ready. The moment has arrived. The sun has dipped low or disappeared completely. People gather into one big room, or several smaller houses, filling every corner. Hot dishes are carried in one after another. Children try to sneak seats near the tables, eager for the first taste. Everyone talks at once, laughter and voices blending together like music. The camera moves slowly from face to face. A tired worker smiles as he finally rests his body. A shy child holds a bowl of soup tightly, eyes wide in wonder. An old woman gently pats the nomad, appreciating him. When the first bites are taken, the room falls into a rare silence. Only the sounds of spoons against bowls and chewing break the quiet. Steam rises from the soup, curling above big chunks of meat. Someone burns their mouth slightly and laughs. A child giggles and says, "I want this boar to come back every week." After the first hunger passes, stories begin to flow. Hunters tell short, exciting tales of past boar hunts. Elders share old sayings about generosity and sharing meat. Women talk about recipes their mothers taught them. Gestures of love and tradition in every sentence. Every bite tells a story. The ice boar was frozen, but tonight it has brought warmth, life, and hope to a whole village. The feast is over, but his journey continues. After the village has eaten and the laughter fades, the nomad finds a quiet corner. He sits outside on the snow or in a small, dimly lit room with his own plate. Finally, he eats slowly, savoring every bite. The narrator explains that he gave almost all his energy to bring this massive boar to the village. But because of that effort, he earns his own place at the table. His thoughts drift as he chews. As long as he can hunt and share, he will never be truly alone. Each family he feeds, each plate he helps fill, becomes a small part of his own survival. The nomad knows that giving is also receiving. Once his meal is done, he begins preparing for the next part of winter. He checks his sled and gear carefully, tightening straps and adjusting bags. He looks at the stored meat blocks, already frozen for future days. The narrator reminds the viewers that for a nomad, there is no true rest. Every feast is not only a celebration, but also the start of the next journey. Finally, a short reflection for you guys. In cities, food comes from stores, already prepared and ready. Here, it comes from one massive frozen boar and a group of people who work together and respect what they have. The message is simple. Think about your next meal differently. Appreciate it. One last look before the night ends. The camera pans over empty bones and used pots, remnants of the massive feast. Children run around laughing, their stomachs full and cheeks rosy from warmth and food. One animal, many full hearts, many warm nights. Every piece of the boar was used, and every hand that touched it showed respect for life and food. Hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe to follow the journey. Next time, maybe we track another giant animal, or see how they survive when no big hunt comes.